Mayday, mayday, mayday. Mayday, mayday, mayday. All free citizens. Mayday, mayday, mayday. All that can hear. America has been overthrown. Repeat, America has been overthrown. Communist occupation. Repeat, heavy communist occupation. Location, location 15 degrees, 2415 north, 30 degrees east, 103. Repeat, 15 degrees, 2415 north, 30 degrees east, 10, 3. We're surrounded. We're surrounded. All comms are unsecure. Repeat, all comms are unsecure. The media has been taken over. Repeat, emergency. Mayday, mayday. All media has been taken over. Request information. Repeat, request information. Find Covert Radio. Repeat, Charlie, Oscar, Victor, Echo, Romeo, Tango. Repeat, Covert Radio. Mayday, mayday, mayday.
Happy Halloween, everybody. One of my favorite holidays. Might be my favorite. This is Covert Radio. And we have an army you can see and an army you don't know nothing about. Can I ask you guys for a favor? In the comment section, I want you to tell me if where you live, if the trick-or-treaters have gotten better or worse or the same in the last 3 years. Just the last 3 years. Again, leave me a comment because it's getting worse and worse here. But I have a theory on that. When you're in an area that's extremely stricken with poverty and drugs, and your little kid's got to walk over hypodermic needles on your trick-or-treat route, that's the air I breathe and the water I drink. Right here in the guts. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, cuz? Right here in the guts, cuz. Again, this is Covert Radio, and you will not see us coming. War music. So, I'm going to make this quick. This is the Sunday show. And this is going to be part 1 of the Sunday show because I just want to do this quickly, get it out there. I would like more than just us, our average Covert Radio listeners. I would like more than just us to listen to this video because this is irrefutable. I have the proof. I mean, there's how you can't deny facts. You can't deny proof. If I'm wrong, I want you to tell me that I'm wrong, and I want you to show me that I'm wrong. To me, this is irrefutable. I have the factual evidence right here. So if I have this wrong, you tell me how I have it wrong. And I encourage you to pay attention because you probably, you may have heard this, you may not have seen it though. Because I do have proof that YouTube is censoring your comments. my comments, other people's comments. And I'm going to ask the question that, isn't this fascism? You know, there's a bunch of people out there quickly ready to call somebody a fascist or a communist. Do you even know what those words mean? Honestly. Do you even know what you're saying? But I'm here to ask you, is this not fascism? Is this not communism? You know, YouTube is doing this, and they don't even have to. This is a company that was able to hide behind the Constitution of the United States. It's able to hide behind the laws. It's able to take advantage of taxes and tax breaks and government money. And they're definitely able to take advantage of lobbyists and dumb fat Americans. But when it comes to free speech or adhering to your rights, they trample all over them and they just say, we're a private company. Well, you've touted yourself as the public platform, but you can hide behind Section 230 whenever it's convenient for you. And you can hide behind United States law whenever it's convenient for you. But when it comes to source and information and thought you don't like, you trample all over other people's rights. It's amazing. Do you guys even know what Section 230 is? You've heard me talk about this. You've heard me go over it. For all you Trump supporters, Trump had every opportunity in 4 years to address this. He had every opportunity to combat it, to change it, to try to redact it, to modify it, to get some things in the Congress to talk about, but he's never touched this. Section 230 is simple. It's in the United States Code under the, it's part of the Communications Decency Act. Section 230 is a section of Title 47. And basically it says that immunity is offered to companies like YouTube who just offer a platform, and so that they're protected from lawsuits and liability from people who found content on their website. You know, I did a video years ago called YouTube's Dirty Little Secret, and that was swept under the rug, and it still continues to this day. But legally, legislatively, the only thing that's really changed, or that YouTube's made an effort to do, is turn off the comment sections of little girls underage who somehow their content finds their way into the hands of 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old men, watching them do gymnastic routines in leotards that are 2 sizes too small. Well, a lot of the times, the mom or the dad is holding the camera. You got to get that money. Ooh, boy, when you get them ads rolling, that ad revenue, you know, none of these parents seem to care that there's a million men out there watching their little girl do splits, and but as long as they get that that ad check every month, hey, fuck it, whatever, you know. Again, Section 230 is what companies like YouTube can hide behind. No provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider. In essence, Covert Radio is another information content provider. A lot of my videos are categorically listed under news and politics. Again, everything I talk about can be proven 20 days to Sunday. I source almost everything I touch. If not, just ask me, and I will give you 20 hyperlinks. So me being the information content provider and you being, say, somehow you were hurt by something I said, or I caused emotional distress to you from something I said, you cannot go after YouTube or Google or Alphabet as a publisher, because they are not considered publishers. So you would think it ends right there. Oh, okay, fine. And I mean, there is a level. And see, again, for any of you long-time Covert Radio listeners, this has been mentioned for the last 5 years, especially when I was covering Tommy's, what's his name? Tammy Sotomayor or something? I forget. He's nowhere to be found. He's picking up corn chicks. Listen, I heard this. Now, I'm just saying I heard this, okay? Because we all know that we all know that the vast majority of Tommy's audience are very hangry young men. Very hangry. They hates them some women's. They're MGTOWs, they're whatever. So then, in his brilliance, he was one of the first, 3 people. Oh, you mean I could get more money from people? I'll sign up. He signed up for an OnlyFans account. Now, word on the street is that people pay him to pick up corn chips with his butt cheeks. I'm just saying, I don't know. And it's somewhere around 10 cents a corn chip. So he'll go out to Sheets or somewhere like that, a quick fill. He'll get the big bag. It's like $3 of the barbecue. He'll get a big bag of the barbecue corn chips. He'll bring them Johns home, you know what I mean? He'll position that camera just right on his fake bear rug. He'll put on some it's getting deep, some Marvin Gaye and some Boy George, and he'll dump them corn chips all over that fake bear rug and let the magic begin, you know what I mean? Every corn chip, it's 10 cents, 20 cents. He just because his grippers are shot, you know what I mean? But somehow he can get that over there. He drops it in this cup. It's like ching ching, it's like dropping a dime in a cup. But say I'm psychologically damaged from that. I can't sue YouTube for that. Anyway, I forget what I was even saying about him. Oh, that's what, long-time listeners for Covert Radio, this was one of my initial things that I brought up. How can somebody go to YouTube and use this platform as a soapbox to harm women, basically? Look through my channel. You'll see all kinds of videos from years ago. Tommy Sotomayor would come to YouTube and literally threaten, hurt, cause damage. There is absolutely blood on his hands. But yet he was monetized and he's had something like 75 channels this entire time. And if anybody ever brought this up to YouTube, they just simply say, oh, we're not liable because of the Communications Decency Act, Title 47 of the United States Code. We're protected by Section 230. But God forbid that you talk against the party, the new Communist Party, you will be taken care of. So again, you would think, if you're looking at the screen right now, you would think that YouTube would allow comments, especially based on truthful and factually based content. If you guys can see this here, let me see what your screen is. Okay, yeah, you can see this. There's a comment. There's a user. His name is Bird's Eye View. And this is all of the comments that he's left in the last day or so. And you can scroll down. There's some more. There's really graceful. There's some more comments. Some more. And this is all on that last video. So, here's his comment. All these links are folks who were terminated from over here, meaning on YouTube. Some created new platforms like pill.net. He even spelled it out. No hyperlinks, no .coms, .nets, just spelled it out. Foxhole, the Foxhole app, and some great researchers are Corey's Diggs. Okay, and then it ends. I can't read anymore. Here's what happens when I click on this. Well, before this goes away, I'll read this one too. Fear not, see the righteous kingdom on earth. Envision how you see it. Write it down, what your world will be when the overlords are gone, for we, and then it's cut off. Oh, here he does give a link, rumble.com. Something about an anniversary of the Rothschilds, okay? And then there's another one, fear not, the USA body politic, trust is a bankrupt corporation. Since the Act of 1871, the new republic is coming. The gold standard is coming. The enemy of, and see, and I can't read anymore, but there are people that believe this, just like what's happening right now with the pandemic and all this stuff that, they completely misjudged how people are going to react to this. And no amount of fear, no amount of silencing, no amount of censorship is going to hide the entire truth. The truth is out there, and most people do care what goes into their body. Most people are intelligent enough to understand. But then again, there are millions of people who just don't care, and, they'll do whatever whoever says. And then there's other people that thought they were doing the right thing, and now they're going to pay for it somehow, I believe. But, again, you just heard, I said, I believe. Oh, no. That's against the party. This is what I'm talking about. Not one of these comments made it to the video for some reason. And I'm going to show you something. Look. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. Oh, okay, I want to read what the rest of this says. Let me click on that. Okay, so it disappeared. So let's see here. If you go to the video itself, here it is. It says there are 18 comments total on this video. Well, I don't see 18 comments here. Okay, so let me try this. This is another trick you have to do sometimes. You got to sort by newest first. Oh, okay. Maybe now the 18 will show up. Still says 18 comments on this video here. Okay, so somebody says starve. There's one reply exposing King. So that's 1, 2. Hey, bud, you're the best at this. Great information. That's 3. Here's 4 comments. This is number 4. Number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So here's bird's eye view. He is the 11th comment. So this one did make it in. Fear not, see the righteous kingdom on earth, envision how you see it, write it down. What your world will be when the overlords are gone. For we will search for our enemies and they will not be found. We manifest our world. The enemy uses black magic and spells to trick us into manifesting their world, a world that is our prison. And I understand that. And you're right, bird's eye view. It really is projection. That's why I don't go deep and heavy on a lot of this doom and gloom stuff, because I'm literally breathing life into the reality that they want. I get that 100%. That's why I'm very careful on what I cover anymore. You know what I mean? Especially regarding this, but at the same time, I will touch into it just in case, because I'm the type of person where, I'd rather have it and not need it, or be ready and never have to be, you know what I mean? So that's why I do cover some of the things I do, because I just, I want people to be aware. There is so much information out there. There's so much disinformation. There's double disinformation, and it's just too much. We only have a certain amount of time every day, and the controllers make sure that the majority of that is watching TV or shows, and I've covered this 1,000 times, but either way, that's 10 comments. Where are the other 8 comments? It says there's 18. Initially, a bunch of those ones didn't show up. Only one of Bird's Eye View's comments showed up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 10, 11. There's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 comments. It says there are 18. Where are the other comments? Covert Radio, that's easy. You got to go into the back end there, and you got to, they're probably being held right now. They're being held for review because you don't allow. Okay, fine. Let's go to that. I'm in the back end of the studio, YouTube studio. This is where I can make changes to the description, to the title, to whatever I want back here. I can go over the analytics. I can go into the editor, Okay, so I just want to show you something. Here's the thumbnails I could have used. No, it's not made for kids. Blah, blah, blah. Automatic chapters. Here's the tags. Covert Radio, cargo ships, supply chain, labor issues, walkouts, dark winter, event 201. Those are just tags in case somebody's searching. Maybe they can stumble onto this video, which I'm shadow banned, so it doesn't matter. English is the language, blah, blah, blah. Recording, none. Date and location. No license needed. Allow embedding. Allow people to sample this. Allow. What else does it say right here? Allow all comments. I've told you guys this. I have no restrictions on comments. Years ago, I made a restriction because somebody kept doxing this guy's address. So I put his address in, so if you put that in a comment, it wouldn't show up. But people found a way around that anyway. So that's the point. Allow all comments. But it says there's 18, but only 11 show up. So where are they? Oh, let's go into comments then. Here, these have to be them. These are all the comments that are published right now. I see 4 of them. There's only 4. Yes, another one a week ago. Oh, I can't scroll anymore. You see this? See, I can't scroll anymore. Yes, another one. Great video, Covert. Hey, bud, you're the best at this. And starve. And exposing. This is all when the video came out. Oh, here we go. Held for review. Here's the missing comments, right? Nothing. Comments here are removed after 60 days. That video was what, 8 days old? It's not like it's 61 days, because then that would make... So that's what I'm telling you. YouTube is taking it upon themselves to censor your comments. And you would never know this, because here's what happens. Even in live streams and live chats, you do see your comment. You see it, but there's no guarantee that anybody else sees it. Just like bird's eye view. He may see every one of... Because this happens to me all the time. And the only way that I can be sure 100% is if I log in with another account, go to the same video, and see if my comments are there. And I don't know a lot of people that's going to go through all of that. You know what I mean? So, but I do, because I'm building a case right now. And I want to know why I'm being censored on YouTube when there should be no need whatsoever. Because of Section 230. Why are you being censored? Why am I being censored? But I'm asking again, is this not fascism? Is this not communism? Here, I thought this was funny too. Look at this. Oh, and just in case, I just want to cover this too. Let's see here. Where was it? Right back here under details. You see how this is grayed out, the save button? I cannot save anything. And just so you probably had comments disabled or, restricted. And then for this video, you switched it. If I switched it, save would be lit up right now. Oh, whatever. Jeez, come on. I should have restarted before I made this video. But anyway, so back to comments. Nothing. There's 4 of them there. That's it. So where mysteriously 7, 8, 9, or however many, 5, 6 comments have disappeared. This happens over and over and over and over again. And I've told you guys this for a couple years now. I don't know what's happening with my comment section. I do know I'm shadow banned. I do know I'm very censored on YouTube. I cannot speak freely whatsoever. And again, I'm not talking about, you know, people like Tommy Sotomayor saying he wants to be the reason that black women are burned in the ovens of Auschwitz. This was on monetized videos until we stepped in. And then right after that was the first apocalypse for YouTube, because we were contacting companies. We were showing them, do you realize that your brand is being pre-rolled with videos like this with such hateful speech? This was only a couple years ago. Long before George Floyd, long, you know, not long, but, you know, a year or so but prior to that. I thought this was funny, though. Look, can you guys read this right here? And this is really part of part 2 for the Sunday show today. I'm going to get into this a little bit, but this is new. You see this? Here, let me highlight it for you there. New. Creator demographics now in settings. Voluntarily provide information about yourself to help YouTube understand the creator and artist community better. Yeah, sorry, I had to get a drink there. So now you can volunteer a bunch of information. I can't wait to see what all they're asking you. What's your race? What's your religion? What's this? What do you believe? What's your political affiliation? Have you ever been here? Have you ever been there? Did you do this? Did you buy this? Do you use that? Do you use that? That's called metadata. Metadata. Now, and see, this is new. So just so you understand how this works, how all of these big tech companies work together in unison, they're all on one big ship driving the same direction into fascism and communism. Their ships must sail in the same direction. This is called dictatorship. This is called fascism. This is called communism. And it's being disguised with social media. Why? Do you know that Facebook just rebranded themselves? Did you know that? It's no longer Facebook, or Facebook is just going to be buried now in part of the bigger umbrella company. Facebook will just be a subsidiary now, if the name even still exists, under a brand new company called Meta. Meta. M-E-T-A. Meta. As in beyond. We're going to get into this in the next video. But just right in time with Meta, in the release of Meta, is now YouTube's in Alphabet and Google are like, oh my God, 23andMe, we've only had, 3/4 of the world spit in a cup and we got their DNA. We need more. We want more information. Who are you? Did you spit in a cup? Have you ever heard of 23andMe? We want to know exactly where you are, who you are, what you do. And you're going to volunteer the information. And there's going to be millions of people. I don't have nothing to hide. You don't understand what you have to hide. That is the problem. Do you guys really, 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 really understand what fascism is? Look, here's his comments. Do you understand what fascism is? Fascism is a form of authoritarianism, basically. It's a form of authoritarianism control, which is basically characterized by power, just under a dictatorship or the party. And there's always oppression. There's suppression of certain information. Now, I want you to think about everything I'm telling you right now in the last few videos and everything that's transpired over the last year. Suppression of information, oppression of information, suppression and oppression of different thought patterns, different ways of thinking. Anything that opposes what's considered the social norm, just like, again, Caitlyn Jenner is not the most beautiful woman in the world. And if you don't believe that, that is a hate crime in certain places. Just like the beautiful, dainty little flower that was flipping desks and tables in a GameStop not too long ago because the guy said, "I'm sorry, sir. It's ma'am." And then he went apeshit flipping tables. Authoritarianism control is dictatorial power. It's suppression. It's oppression. It's regimentation of society. Regimented, in sync. Everybody looks the same. Everybody believes the same. Everybody dresses the same. Everybody the same. Everybody dances it. Like, it's just everybody dancing to the same drum. And if you don't, you're weird. You're a freak. You're silenced. There's something wrong with you. Okay? And this bleeds into the economy as well. Well, Covert Radio, that's all good and fine, but, I mean, you say this word all the time. What is authoritarianism? What is that? Okay, do you guys really want to know what authoritarianism is? Or let me ask you this. Do you understand what it is? I'm going to play this for you. It's only a couple minutes long. I want you to listen to this really quickly. This was, January 2019, January 2020. This is the Hannity show. Just it's only, but I'm not having you listen to Rose or Hannity. This is the caller.
David from Minneapolis.
Thanks for taking my call, Rose.
Sure.
I've heard a lot of voices on the right lately, and it seems like a lot of false hope. And what I'm hearing is, come the midterms. Maybe come the presidential election in 2024. And it sounds like they're just disconnected from reality. And the reality is this, that we have the machines, we have the courts, and we have the media. And the game is over. You had a good run, 200 and some odd years. Great. But now it's over with. And there's nothing that can be done about it. If you have no place to redress, no place to air your grievances, in other words, no court, then there's nothing left for you to accept, just to accept it and move on. And there's going to be a lot of disappointed people in the next 18 months, but I'm here to say right now, in 18 months, Sean Hannity and others like him will not have a TV show. They will not have a radio show. And that's just all there is to it.
Okay, David, hold on.
Bad news.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. I let you share everything that was on your heart and mind. So I've got a question for you. Number one, you said we have the machines, we have the media. Who are you referring to?
The people behind the levers of power. These machines have been around for a while. We have been waiting and watching for the right opportunity. And it finally came, and the fix is in, and that's it. That's all there is to it.
Wait, are you telling me that you're on the side of the? Are you telling me that you're on the side of the?
That's absolutely why I called. The ends justify the means.
Aren't you like kind of exposing? Aren't you like pulling the curtain away and exposing all of this, or you're admitting that
no,
aren't your fellow socialists and everyone else going to be really ticked off at you for like saying, yeah, we really did steal the election?
Not anymore. It's too late for that.
Dude, are you serious? Like, is this a serious call, or are you like punking me here?
No,
Rose,
is this
a serious call?
Absolutely serious. Absolutely. And here's one last thing. I keep hearing people say, well, what about the 80 million? And don't you want to reunite and reach out? You don't get it. We don't need you anymore. We don't care. We don't want to unite with you. We want to destroy every single one of you. So that's
oh my God. I can't even believe I'm hearing this. Like, you're saying it out loud. Maybe it's said behind closed doors. Are you kidding me?
If you listen closely, they've been saying it for quite a while. I'm just one of those.
Are you playing like the devil's advocate here? You're kind of playing the devil's advocate, I think.
No, no, ma'am. I will be respectful, and I will not, I'm not going to resort.
Well, it's not respectful when you say you don't care about 80 million people. That's not respectful. It's not respectful when you tell us that you don't want to work, although you're not telling us anything that we didn't already know or suspect. It's just amazing to me that someone on the left is actually being honest about what they're all about.
Well, how much love do you think that the 80 million have for people like myself? There's absolutely
well, no. Let me ask you this: how much? No, that's not the question. The question is, how much hate do you believe that 80 million people have for you? Because I don't hate you. Okay, I'm concerned by you and what you.
Maybe hate's a strong word. They have a contempt that knows no bounds.
No. Who has the contempt, David? You have the contempt.
Both sides, Rose. Both sides have the contempt equally. I'm not trying to deny my contempt for your side, but your side has it just as deeply rooted as mine does.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I mean, I'm loving this. I mean, I can't, as long as I'm not being punked right now. Let me ask you a question, David. I can hear I think you have a radio on in the background. If you could just turn that down. But David, here's my question for you. Do you not love the Republic and everything that it stood for the last 244 years?
There was a watershed moment of my life that changed my views completely. And I'm not going to go with you get into the nitty-gritty details because it doesn't really matter. There are millions of people who have had experiences like that, like mine, that came to that conclusion long ago that the Republic, so to speak, is nothing but crony capitalism. It's taking advantage of one group to the advantage of another. And I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. I'm done. And if that means the utter destruction, tearing it down and rebuilding it, great. Then so be it. And let the cards and the chips fall where they may. Doesn't matter to me anymore.
It doesn't matter to you. Do you have kids? Do you have children?
I do not.
Okay, well, that's probably a very big reason why it doesn't matter to you, because what we fight for future generations, just like it was fought for us. What we fight for is freedom. And if you are okay with giving up your freedom to a government that is completely out of control, that wants to continue to make themselves bigger and stronger, which means then they are taking away all the power from the people. This country was founded on the idea that, first of all, that we are free. Just like the story I told about the young man who was at the time a student at Tiananmen Square. He knew, even though he couldn't live a free life, there was something within him that said, I must be free. He knew that. He felt it, even though he didn't experience freedom. He knew it, that he must be free.
I can understand the sentiment. I just want to leave one parting message. When you said that I'll give up my freedom, Rose, I won't be the one giving up my freedom. It will be you and your side. You're the ones whose freedom.
Yeah, and what freedom will you have left, my friend? Because once they take it away from us, what will you have? You tell me. What freedom will you have once it's been taken away from the rest of us? What is the freedom that you think you'll be holding on to?
The difference between the haves and the have-nots at that point.
So there you go. You know, I mean, is this guy like in the deep state? Is he one of the families? I mean, obviously everything he said is beyond truth. And again, I want to remind you, this is December of 2019, January 2020. This is when it all really started. This fast pace to lockstep. Yeah, lockstep. What's lockstep? Well, I don't know. Lockstep is something you guys should look into. Oh, you got to. Is that medical misinformation? No, it's not. It has nothing to do with medical or misinformation. I don't know. Authoritarianism is what this guy's talking about. Authoritarianism is what this communist is speaking about. And there's no truer form of authoritarianism than the rejection of political duality, plurality, whatever you want to call it. There's only the party. There's only the Communist Party. There's only the Soviet Union. There's only the regime. There's only the party, the CPP. or the CCP, like the Chinese Communist Party. There's only the party. There is no God. There is no individual. There's only the party, just like 1984. Please, for the love of God, if you've never seen 1984, watch 1984. The party, the party, the party. Endless war, the party. Endless war, the party. Just like the Communist Chinese, which are, the official Communist Party of China. And it's always been funny to me a little bit that they always use like the people as if it's their idea to be communist. Because really, the sole governing party of China is called the People's Republic. The Chinese Communist Party of the People's Republic of China. It's the People's Republic of China. But it's really not. It's a group of authoritarianist communists who are telling everybody how to live. And if you don't do what they say, you're put in jail, you're put in re-education camps, you're put in forced labor camps, you're put in factories, for 20-some, 30-some years, generations of your family working for companies like Foxconn, making fat slob Americans' next iPhone for $2,000. Oh, boy. That's not the first time I played that call, because, again, this guy spoke nothing but the truth. And, is this conditioning? Is this just, basically training people what's coming? He said in the next 18 months. In the next 18 months, there will be no shows like Hannity. There will be no people like Tucker Carlson or whoever else. And everything I've seen, they're taking little steps every day to make that reality come true. And, they're using what I said in the last video, Stalin called them the useful idiots. The useful idiots, like all of the useful idiots that were burning America down, last summer? Just like the BLM, who are openly admitting that they're trained Marxists, spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on their own, like the leaders, I'm saying. See, that's how it always works. I don't know why young people are so stupid that they believe that communism is the answer or socialism is the answer. How do you not look back through history just like the Nazis? Just like the Soviet Union. And it's going to be just like China one day. Somebody will say, just like China. Communism never, ever, ever, ever works. And it's always built off the backs of the poor, the destitute, the Workers' Party. That's what the Nazis were based from. The Workers' Party, the Labor Party. Stalin and the Soviet Union were the farmers and the peasants. China is the People's Republic of China. But really, you're live-in prisoners. These people eat caviar every day, and you're out in knee-deep water trying to get enough rice together so your family doesn't starve. That's the reality of communism, and it's never going to change. It's not going to be any different forever. That's how it's always going to be. There's always going to be a ruling class. There's always going to be a serf class. Always. I don't care what you call it. Communism, socialism, capitalism, ism, whatever you call it, there's always going to be a ruling class and there's always going to be a serf class. The difference is you have no rights. You have no rights in several of those isms. But again, they were all destroyed at certain points. Communism never works. There's always going to be corruption. There's always going to be a ruling class. Just like now in the United States, even though there's the Constitution, they ignore all of it. Everything that's happening right now with people losing their jobs is unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional. It's a perversion of your rights. And there are lawyers out there that are screaming this from their rooftops. But you just got to find them. Because everything, like he said, we own the media. We own the courts. We own the machines. These people own the media, they own the courts, they own machines. They are the ruling class. The law does not apply to them. Just like Bill Cosby, who admitted himself with his own mouth that he was guilty of the charges brought against him, and they still let him out of prison. The law does not apply to the ruling class. The law is a weapon of financial attrition. I coined that term. If you want to use it, go ahead. Financial attrition. Because you may have the legality, the morality, you may have it all on your side, but they're going to make sure you go broke trying to defend your rights. And they've been modifying the law so much that there's not going to be legal rights pretty soon. Just like they're doing right now, the FBI is doing to these parents. I just can't even get into it. They're being labeled domestic terrorists because they care about what's happening to their kids in these communist school systems now. Immediately, you see how fast this has gone. Every day, they are eroding your rights. They are eroding morality. They're taking it away every single day, bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. It's like eating McDonald's every single day. Every day you get a number 2 or 5 or whatever the Big Mac value meal is. You get a Coke with a Big Mac and a large fries every day. And you eat it. And the next day, Big Mac. Next day, Big Mac. Next day, Big Mac. You're not going to gain 150 pounds and have pimples all over your face in a week. But in a year, you're not even going to recognize the person in the mirror. That's if you eat it every single day, bit by bit by bit by bit. If you eat 365 Big Macs at one time, you're probably going to die, though. But if you eat it over 365 days, then they got you. Then they got you. The law is a weapon, not for us. It's used against us. It's a weapon of financial attrition. It's used to punish us. It's used to destroy your rights. It's used to destroy any property you may have acquired. That is, you're all just leasing it. Nobody owns anything. We're serfs. To the definition, we are serfs. You don't own your house because you don't own the land that it's on. You may have bought your house or paid it off in 30 years, but you still don't own it because if you don't pay the property tax, they come and get it. We're debt slave serfs down here at the bottom. And all through history, authoritarianism builds and uses people like us. People like the BLM. They are trying to preserve their status. They want their political status quo. It's their religious beliefs. It's what they consider moral, which really, I mean, you can see what their culture is. You can see by Super Bowl halftime shows. You can see by videos, music videos, WAP, and all this satanic garbage bullshit. Their culture is right in front of our eyes. That is their culture. And it might be your culture that you're listening to me, but I'm telling you, it's immoral. It's a degradation of humanity. It's a complete perversion of what's right, what's good, what's righteous. There's complete reductions in rule of law. There's no cause for any type of heavy-handed authority, because the chaos is what they use to continue to gain more power. Defund the police. Defund the police. Oh, there's no police, so we have to bring military in now. And they control the military, just like they set up perimeter around Washington, D.C. There's going to be no more voting. There's no way they can get away with what they got away with last time. It'll never happen again, so they just got to remove it. They got to take it away. This is what authoritarianism is. Essentially, you have no rights. There is no constitution. There is no Bill of Rights. There is no civil liberties. There is only the party. There is only their belief system, and whatever they say goes. And if you don't like it, just like in this video, you could pause it right now, scroll to the bottom at every one of Covert Radio's videos. I put the Gulag Archipelago by Aleksandr Solzhenitsyn, who was in the Gulag, in a prison forced labor camp, regretting and reminiscing about if we only fought back, if we would have only organized a little bit and not been silenced, not been afraid, not be afraid to stand in the downstairs hall with anything you could get. Axe handles, broom handles, a shovel, whatever. And fight back, because you don't know it yet, because you're eating a Big Mac every day. You don't know yet. But if a doctor would tell you, I guarantee you will die in 1 year if you ate 365 Big Macs, one a day, you might quit. Some of you still wouldn't, because you think you're smarter than whatever. Oh, that ain't gonna, I'll just drink an extra water every day. Yeah. They got medicine for that. They got anti-fat fuck medicine, Biggie Mackey lovey, French fry dippy, and extra horsey sauce ketchup. There's a pill for that. I can eat whatever I want. Can you? There's only the party. There's only the party. Whatever they say goes. There is no rights. You have no rights. And they're whittling them away every day, every day, every day. And just like Aleksandr Solzhenitsyn, who wrote the Gulag Archipelago, pause the video now, go down and read it. He reminisces about, what if we just fought back? They had nothing left to lose, but they didn't understand that. They didn't understand that. Now they do, sitting in a prison camp, but they didn't realize it back then. This is a power grab. This is a restructure. What do you think the Great Reset is? With a 99.8 survival rate of something that they keep telling you is devastating. Do you see what's happening? Just like Brandon's ill-defined, executive powers set a record, a United States record, signing executive orders within literal hours of being sworn in. Now, this is a guy who cannot read an entire paragraph. The leader of the free world. It's a joke. It's a joke. This is all symbolism. They know this. The crumbling destruction. When you look at him, when you see Brandon, think pervert, think whatever you want. All the stories are true. Sniff, sniff, smell, smell. They're all true. They're all true. That is the representation of the world. We took this over. And this is the representative of what was once the greatest place, the beacon of hope, the beacon of freedom and justice and law and money and every advantage you could possibly ever dream you had. Just something as simple as this that dawned on me today. I told my wife. She was making herself some iced tea, and she's like, "Hun, can you hand me the sugar?" So I gave her the sugar, and it's a little sugar dish, and she's like, "Oh, fill that up. Fill it up." So I go over to the canister set, and I get the sugar, and it's probably, I don't know, 2 pounds of sugar in there. And I told her, I was like, the reality is, like, even things like this, we don't realize how blessed and lucky we are to be in America. Because this amount of sugar in many, 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 many places all over the world is considered an extreme luxury. And we could go at any time, almost any store and that has food and stuff, and just buy as much sugar as we want. It's all coming to an end. Because what a lot of people don't see is these controllers, their elevated view. You may not know what a city 100 miles from you is like. These people know what cities 1,000 miles away from you are like. 10,000 miles away from you. They have a bird's eye view. These globalists have a bird's eye view. And it's all going to come crashing down. This guy is not cognitive enough to read an entire paragraph. And there's no way that he himself, yet this is what they want everybody to believe. An executive order is supposedly authored by the president. And I'm not an idiot. I understand the staff and other people. The guy wasn't, the pen wasn't even warm or cold yet out of Trump's hand. And he's already signing within 9 days. 9 days of going into office in January, Brandon signed 40 executive orders in just the first 9 days. It's a new record for the United States. Within hours, about 4 hours or something, 4 or 5 hours of him walking into the White House for the first time as president, he already sat down and signed 17 executive orders. 17. Like, this is all a consolidation. It's a consolidation of power. It's a consolidation of morality. It's a consolidation of rights. This is tyranny. A lot of those executive orders he wrote were from Obama. They were Obama era, the 8 years he was vice president. I'm saying Biden. A lot of those initial 17 executive orders, which were, again, in hours of him taking office, were all from the Obama era. And some of it had to do with medical tyranny and whatever else, whatever. Some other stuff too. But, again, this is what happens under authoritarianism. This is what happens. Executive orders over and over and over again. Each one of them eroding, taking away, eroding. And if you don't know this by now, once they take it, they don't give it back. A lot of them are vague. A lot of them are multifaceted, where it's A, B, C, D, and then E if C and D are completed, and then F, G, H, I. Like, a lot of them have layers and layers and layers of conditions and rules and new, just like him shutting down the Keystone Pipeline within hours. And, there was something like, 30,000 guys lost their job within hours? What this does, it extends the power. It consolidates it and extends it. Consolidate, expand, consolidate, expand. And it's their executive power. And what they're doing is they're shifting all of this to an agenda. We own the media. We own the media. We own the media. We own the machines. We own the courts. This is a political agenda. And again, it's not necessarily what's good. It's not what may be needed. It's not good for you. It's not good for your family. But it is the party and it is the agenda. And if you don't like it, pretty soon you're going to be put into a prison. Pretty soon you too you too will be considered a domestic terrorist. That's what you'll be considered. We're living in a world, and I said this when I opened the video, that's just polluted with information. You don't know what to turn to. You don't know what to believe. And this is on purpose. Again, you can only rely on either certain people or God-given gifts of discernment and like logic and things like that to deduce what's true. Because they are masters of manipulation. We're in a world on purpose that's now polluted with information. It's polluted with disinformation. It's polluted with double disinformation. And they just repeat. Mind-numbing messages, perfect colors, perfect angles, mind-numbing messages. We are farmers. All of it is promoted. It's protected by a highly, and I'm saying a highly weaponized media. Highly weaponized. And I call it a weapon because of the flicker rate of the black screen, of the mirror, the black mirror that tells you what reality is. It's a weapon. It's a weapon. Media is a weapon. Social media. Social media, weapon. This is a satanic and a communistic agenda. And they also now, and it's been coming, and they've been doing this for the last few years, but they've really turned it up in the last 10, 15 months. I'd say maybe 10 months. Academia, they're coming for the kids. The FDA, coming for the kids. There's a school, look into this story, in Florida. They took second graders to a gay bar. This is on any news outlet you want to look into. They took second graders on a field trip to a gay bar. Why? And what parents are afraid to be ostracized or not be woke enough that would not allow little Timmy to go on this type? I mean, it's just completely ridiculous. Now these people are protected by the FBI. They're all in unison. The country's been hijacked. Do you listen to the Covert Radio intro? America has been overthrown. Now they're also protected by the FBI because, again, they are labeling average parents who are involved with their kids. They are now labeling them domestic terrorists. I want you guys to take a look at this really quickly, and then we're done.
A boy dressed as a girl is accused of raping an actual girl in the bathroom of a school in Loudoun County, Virginia. That boy apparently has just been found guilty by a judge. The father of the girl who says she was raped is called Scott Smith, and he said he plans to file a lawsuit against the school system over this, and that can't come too soon. At a recent school board meeting, the superintendent of Loudoun County Schools, a guy called Scott Ziegler, said, quote, "We don't have any records of assaults occurring in our restrooms because, of course, they couldn't be bothered to keep track. What does that have to do with the equity agenda? Nothing. What do we care about our students? Nothing." So students walked out of school today in Loudoun County into protest. Lou Rosiak is with the Daily Wire. He broke this story and deserves the credit for it. He joins us tonight with an update. Luke, thanks so much for coming on. Everything about this story is stomach-turning. Tell us where we are tonight, please.
Well, yesterday the kid was convicted in court of both assaults. The first one that happened in a bathroom where he was convicted of rape. And then the second one where the school didn't tell anyone it had happened, transferred him to a different school, and he was arrested in October 6th. So, you know, I broke that story on your show a couple weeks ago and in the Daily Wire. And most of the media largely ignored it because they said it was unsubstantiated. 2 days ago, Barack Obama alluded to it while campaigning with Terry McAuliffe, calling it it phony right-wing outrage. Yesterday, everything was substantiated in court, including a bizarre detail that the fact that this kid was wearing a skirt is actually central to his defense. He claims that his wristwatch got caught on the skirt he was wearing while he was hanging out in the girls' bathroom, and that caused inadvertent sexual contact to occur.
So Barack Obama, who really is a heartless monster, and I'm glad that's clear to everyone now, described the rape of a child as phony right-wing outrage?
This is what, he's talking about, parents being up in arms in Virginia and basically claiming it's all cultural war stuff. First of all, I never really cared about the fact that this is transgender. The bigger issue here is that school districts do not have the same priorities as parents. And that's really right. What Terry McAuliffe hit the nail on the head with, saying, he doesn't think parents should be telling schools what to teach. The head of the teachers union said something similar this week. So the issue is, what's the appropriate role for parents in schools? And the Democrats seem to think they don't have one. These are our kids. We're going to raise them in these government schools. The problem is the main case study that they had for this Parents Are Bad movement, it turned out to be a total hoax. I mean, this guy who was arrested, and, he looks like a blue-collar guy. He's angry at school board meeting. They thought he was a bigot. Maybe he was opposed to masks. The clip that the media had the whole time of him, you can hear his wife screaming at the end as her husband is hauled away in handcuffs. My daughter was raped in school, and this is what happened. So no one asked this guy why he was mad. We also found out this week that the White House worked with the National School Boards Association to write the letter that called this guy and other parents domestic terrorists, which the DOJ then used to justify FBI involvement.
Yeah, so your daughter gets raped in a school bathroom, the school doesn't care or even keep track of the rape, and then you get denounced by the president and the DOJ as a domestic terrorist for complaining about it. It really does tell you everything, and we wouldn't know this without your reporting. Luke Rosiak, thank you.
That's where we're at. That's reality. That's reality. But I'm telling you, in another several months, you're never going to hear about this stuff. This is a highly orchestrated consolidation of political power by communists and Satanists. They don't care about what you care about. And now they're stopping people from voicing opposition. This is textbook authoritarianism. Textbook authoritarianism. Oppression, deprivation, the crushing of civil liberties. Unless you want to go out and burn cities down and tear history down, no matter what it is. If you're gonna wave that flag, the anti-fascist flag, which is an oxymoron, it's oxymoronic. And if you're an Antifa listening to this, you look like an idiot if you don't understand what you're actually fighting for. You're actually fighting for people who look at you as useful idiots. They're gonna maintain their control, and then they're gonna have fun destroying the people who help them. This is what they do, and this is what they've done over and over and over and over again all through history. They eat their own. They eat their own. There is no other there's no other road once we start down this road. And again, back to the caller. We own the courts, we own the media, we own the machines. My next video, part 2 of Covert Radio's Sunday show, which I can't believe this went for an hour already because I have so much more to get into. It's just unreal. See, this is why, I don't know. I would like more people to hear this information. I don't know anybody else. I personally don't know anybody else that is covering certain things that we talk about or in this perspective. So, I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there. And see, that's what I mean. Everything's spread out now. If you can find it, find it. If you can find it, find it. There's just so much information. People don't even know where to start. And everything is fractured now. Everything's fractured. Just like Bird's Eye View was saying, you can go to this site, this site, this site, this site, this site, this site. This one was here, but now he's here, now he's there, now he's there. They were all here, but now they're not here, so they're here, 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 here. Who has the time for that every day? And even if you do find these people again, or if you listen to them on YouTube or wherever, I just don't know. And the other thing I noticed that was weird, and this is, I swear, why does everybody feel the need to have a podcast? And I'm not talking about people like us. Our voices need to be heard. I'm talking about people like Alec Baldwin, who just, I guess I don't know, whatever, he shot that woman, and then I found this one video of him, and he's like, no, on my podcast, I'll be talking. Like, do you not have enough money and attention? Like, who really cares what Alec Baldwin thinks? It's unrelatable. This guy has lived an advantage, well-off life for many, 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 many years. He cannot relate to us, and we can't relate to him. But he has a podcast, just like Howie Mandel. Are these people so just hollow inside that, you know, any amount of attention they can get, they can't help themselves? I don't care what Howie Mandel has to say. He's a germaphobe. You're all over TV. You made, what's the one with the suitcases? Let's Make a Deal. Where he's made it unwatchable. Like I don't even know. I'm just saying, like, these people, but again, this is also part of the design. If you remember, I talked about this. I said this several years ago. I said this is going to be an uptick. It's going to keep going and going and going, because eventually they're going to make sure our voices are drowned out. And the only options you're going to have is a buffet. See, that's perfect analogy, Covert Radio. Here's the analogy. It's like going to a buffet, but they only have chicken. That's where all of this type of media is being pushed to. And I noticed it a couple years ago, and I talked about it then, because I broke down the labor and statistics of that year, and I broke it all down for one of the videos. If you can find it, I'll, put it in the comment section. I'll link it. But I talked about the amount of time people have every day, what's called leisure time. And that's what they dedicate to be able to watch TV or, listen to podcasts or whatever. And that number keeps dwindling. But with COVID now and everything, that number's gone back up. But there's way more chicken on the buffet now. Before, you could come to YouTube and, there's pizza, there's some chicken, there's some steak. Hey, that roast beef looks good. Oh, good mashed potatoes. Do you want beef gravy or chicken? Like, what kind of gravy? Oh, they got a salad bar too. I hope they had pickled eggs. That's how YouTube used to be. Now it's just a buffet with nothing but chicken on it. Well, you can get chicken with ketchup on it. You can get chicken with mayonnaise. You can get chicken that doesn't look like chicken, but it's still chicken. You can get chicken balls. You can get smashed chicken. Chicken. That's what the party has. That's the only entertainment you're going to have pretty soon. Mark my words, if we don't try to stop this now. If you enjoy Covert Radio, become a Patreon. Allow me to do this more. If you can, share this video or take a clip of it and anything. Just, let's share this type of information, because really, we're running out of time. And truthfully, we may have already run out of time. But there's still more of us than there are of them. And they've done all they could do to fracture us by race, by religion, by political beliefs that is a joke because they're really non-existent anyway. They control both sides. I had a whole video coming up. I have it really ready. I just got to talk about it, about the Democrats that are holding up the one bill that's going to allow competition for the drug companies so that Medicare can negotiate prices. These are Congress people. These are elected officials that are so deep in the pockets of Big Pharma that they will not even allow the government to spend less money on Medicare medicine. Do you understand? Do you understand what I just said? These politicians are so deep in the pockets of Big Pharma. They won't even allow the government, the people who really employs them, and the people who, they're supposed to represent, they won't even allow the government to be able to let people pay less money for prescriptions through Medicare. That's where we're at. The bribery is so much more lucrative from the big pharma lobbying and you know, nonprofits, and they have so many ways to hide how they filter money to politicians now. Back in the day, you'd catch a hidden camera in a hotel room with Arabs handing a suitcase of $1 million and a politician grabbing it. Yes, sir, that bill will certainly go through my committee. They're way more sophisticated now. And there's like 3 or 4 Democrats who are holding up this bill to allow competition into the pharmaceutical industries to lower prices. They won't let it happen. And this is all out in the open. What do you care about? I'm going to keep asking that question too. What do you care about? Because believe it or not, or like it or not, you're going to be forced to care very, very, very soon. I'm Covert Radio. Check out the Gulag Archipelago. Read it. It'll only take you less than a minute in the description. If you want to become a Patreon, the link's in there. Patreon.com/Covert Radio. You guys take care. Have a good day.